What is up, everybody? It's Twisted Nerve. I'm back in the flight deck for another awesome stream. We're going from Raleigh, Durham to O'Hare, Chicago, United Flight 630. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As always, we're going to start with our weather observation here. Overall, it's a gusty departure here out of Raleigh, Durham. Um, Obviously, it's winds out of the south, gusting 2-1. We have this big line of storms coming through all the way this ahead of the front here. So this is where our gusts are coming from, all the way from basically the Great Lakes all the way down through Texas. So we might have some turbulence as we cross over this front. There's always a change in wind when you cross over front. And then into Chicago, we have marginal VFR conditions gusting 2-4 out of the southwest. So we're going to expect a westbound landing, probably gusty, probably a little sporty coming in. Let's look at a couple other products before we get started here. So we have this cold front coming through with this rain band and a trough. So along our route of flight, we're going to be kind of sandwiched between some unstable air, which is going to cause us some turbulence most likely. So, that's about it for now. So let's move on into the flight deck and get started. Yeah. All right. So I went ahead. We're passengers are already boarding. I got most of the FMC programmed. We have our flight plan here. Again, we can look at some of the flight maps here. That's why I always start with the aviation weather. But as you can see, we have this this line here, which is some unstable air. We're going to have a little bit of a headwind, but mostly a crosswind coming in. So our timing should be true this afternoon. All right, let's get out of that part. All right, we're going to call up ground and go ahead and get our clearance while we're waiting. You can't necessarily see it, but in the notes section of vPilot, I do the CRAFT acronym for writing down the clearance. So that's going to be clearance, route, ATC frequency, ATC frequency, and transponder code. All right, alpha is what we got. Raleigh ground, good afternoon. United 630 with information alpha, looking to pick up I-4 clearance to O'Hare's file.
To be O'Hare, Airport 744 departure, then as filed, contain 6,000, expected flight level 36010 is after departure. Departure is offline, squawk 3507.
Okay, we're cleared to O'Hare via the Shepherd 4 departure, Shepherd transition that is filed. 6,000 departure, 36010 minutes after. Departure's offline, squawk 3507 for United 630.
United 630, like a professional, read back is correct. Quick start of your expression, call for taxi.
All right, we'll call you for taxi 630. Like a professional. All right. Let's see, what am I doing here? I'm a little caught up. All right, so since there's nobody online, we're going to go ahead and put 360 here, but normally you would put your first cleared altitude, which is 6,000. Because there is no, oops, sorry for that spike, because there is no ATC on, it's not really going to affect us that much. All right, so we have everything programmed. We'll get the numbers in the box here in a minute. We're going to start the APU. We'll get our numbers plugged in. 3507 on, above, and nothing on yet for TCAS. Oh, aircraft is loaded. That's why I like the Phoenix. You can just automatically send it, but in case you're not, right here you would enter these numbers from here, this part right here. Every add-on has a little bit different way of doing it, but Phoenix is pretty straightforward. Now I could go in here and I could use the numbers now from the runway analysis. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. But the problem is you have to do it anyway because you need your trim setting. So it's a lot simpler. We're probably off 2-3 right. Optimum, sync the weather, boom. So it's flaps 3 for that. I don't really like flaps 3. It's not that much difference of a speed, but it's down 0.3. Alright, so we'll go here, performance. We'll do, I think it was flaps 1. Yep, flaps 1, down 0.3. Flex is 53. So what the flex is changing basically the temperature that the aircraft thinks the air is at, to basically derate the power of the engines to save it from just wear and tear. All right, 137, 139, and probably full length, so we don't need to shift the takeoff feet-wise, and 140. Cool. All right, that's enough of that. All right, we'll brief the departure as we get, it's going to be quite hot. I should have done this while I was waiting to start the stream. Got everything disconnected. Okay, good. All right, hook it up. Get us out. Please and thank you. Get us on out. Okay, so like we said, our taxi route's probably going to be Foxtrot, just straight on down. All right, the Shepherd 4. Okay. Always read the narrative first. So that's where they get the 6,000 from. Climb on assigned heading, which we won't. We'll just do runway heading to cross Qatar above 2,500, then undepicted route to Shepherd. Okay, so basically we're going to go out at 1,000 feet. We'll turn out to the right towards Qatar. Actually, you know what? We're going to make it 400 feet. Why? Because we like to party. So at 800 MSL on the altitude tape, we're going to turn out to the west because we like to party. Most likely a single engine taxi as well. Oh, there's the clouds starting to roll in. All right, get us out of here. Let's go. Come on. Oh wait, maybe I have to do this. GSX. Ah yes. Nose to the left, tail right. I always forget about that. All right, hour 45 minutes en route today. We're generally right on using the sim brief profile for the Phoenix. It's generally pretty accurate, which is nice. Come on, push back. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nose left, tail right. I already did that.
Ground November 5 Mike Bravo radio check.
All right, start at will.
5 Mike Bravo, Raleigh ground, loud clear.
November 5 Mike Bravo, request to Lexington. We have Alpha.
What? What?
First, 5 Mike Bravo, for some reason I don't have your equipment suffix on file. Please take one second.
We're sent Lima.
That's the only problem with the default airports is I should probably put the I should probably get some good scenery. Because the wing walkers should be here.
6,000 for 3010, departure offline, 3747, 5 Mike Bravo. Call you taxi 5 Mike Bravo.
Ooh, I can change it in the sim. From you guys. That's cool. Looking for Avail. Yellow electric pump. So we should have hydraulic pressure. Good. So we'll set the flaps 1. What was our trim? Down 0.3. 1, 2, 3 on the scroll wheel. It's a nice cheat. But now we're 3 down, which is good. Back to the engine. Okay. Yeah, clear on 1. Yep, I'd be wearing shorts too. It's pretty hot out. Yeah, let's do our flows after start flows. Well, actually, we'll wait to do that after. After start checklist, NIS is off. We don't need it. Ecamp status check. No, nothing crazy. Pitch trim is set down 0.3, and rudder trim should be neutral, which it is. Taxi check. Flight controls. Full back, full left, full right. Rudder left, right. Alright, once they get out of the way, we'll turn the radar on so we don't fry anybody. Ecam memo is, well, it won't be blue here in a minute. Okay, show me the pen, show me the pen, show me the pen, show me the pen. Yay, pen. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Raleigh ground, United 630, ready to taxi information alpha. That was Foxtrot for 2 tree left.
You want to go to 2-3 left? I can think why is 2-3 right for?
Sorry, I said the wrong thing. 6 was it Foxtrot for 2-3 right? My radio was soft.
You could Foxtrot Bravo 9er, 2-3 left.
Alright, Foxtrot Bravo for 2 tree right, United 630.
United 630 confirm Foxtrot Bravo 9er.
Foxtrot Bravo 9er for 2 tree right, United 630. let's go. Alright, once we get taxi, yep, there we go. And we're starting that second engine, baby. Because we need 3 minutes. There we go. We're going to expect a left to right crosswind, so it'll be left aileron, probably right rudder to keep the nose straight. Okay, we got both on, yellow electric pump off, APU off, lights are set. Memo, takeoff, no blue. Probably get on the center line here.
United 630, nothing further. Long on the com up is 192.
Over to CTAF, have a good one. United 630. What's the CTAF for here? Probably should have looked that up. $127.45, that's right. So I'll use dot commands in vpilot to just kind of avoid having to do this too much. Same thing with the altimeter. All right, we're coming up on Bravo 9er. It's over here, so we'll go lights, camera, which is this, which is our transponder, and action, which will be our timer once we make our radio call. Raleigh Durham traffic United 630 departing runway 23 right IFR to the west. Raleigh. Okay, again, a little bit of right rudder, left aileron, cross-controlled to maintain that center line.
Raleigh traffic, American 1123, 18 miles out, ILS 23 right, Raleigh.
All right, throttle set. Okay, a little right rudder. See how we wanted to pull left? That's a little bit of the wind pushing on the vertical stabilizer. So just a little bit of right rudder, a little bit of aileron. And V1. Positive rate. Okay, let's just go direct to Qatar. My gosh. I'm in the detent. Jeez. Let's get back on course here. Alright. So the only thing is that no matter how much I calibrate it on my throttle, it doesn't seem to match up with the detents, so I have to kind of finagle with it to get it to actually stick in the detent. And make our last call here. Raleigh Durham traffic, United 630 departing the area to the west. Raleigh. That way the American coming in knows we're out of the area. And over to Unicom. Open climb. Why not? Pilot on. Alright, we're over 10. Lights come off. Well, these lights come off at least. Right. Boom. Revert to all. Weather's fine. That's fine. Ding the cabin attendants. And stereo comes off. All right. All right. Climbing nicely. Nothing too crazy going on. As we get to these layers, it's going to be a little bumpy. That's normal. We're between layers. That's actually where the most stable air is. Once we get in cruise, I'll take a short break, leave you guys with some nice visuals, and I'll be back in a few minutes once we get up to cruise. I just realized I was talking the whole time with my mic off. Basically what I did was I took, um, wow, that was a long time with my mic off, and I don't feel like saying it all again. So basically, you saw what I did. I just took, um, you want to you want to be about 30 miles if there's no descent fix and no altitude. You want it to be about 10,000 feet above the field at 30 miles out. So I made that a fix, showing you how to do it in the revision, and then I took the difference in altitude, 11 minus 360, which is our cruise. Take the difference of that, difference means subtract, and then I took that number, which is 25, and I multiplied it by 3, which is 75. And that's how far we're going to start our descent. Um, and then when we get to cruise, whatever this number is, we'll divide it by um, how many miles per minute we're going ground speed, and that'll tell us how long we'll be in cruise. I showed you how I read the whole TAF out. It's probably good for you. You didn't hear me say it the whole time. But basically, we're going to have winds out of the west. We have a very slow temperature dew point average over the last hour. There's no real change, which means we have very stable conditions. That means they're not changing a lot. But the air is unstable, meaning it's bumpy, it's gusty. So that's just because of the low pressure system over by Chicago. So expect bumpy air on the way down and into O'Hare. So we'll be landing west on the south side of the airport, so probably 28 center. That's basically all I said. All right, so we're at our speed, we're at our cruise altitude. Ground speed is 450 knots. 1 knot is 1 nautical mile per hour. So if we take the first two numbers here, 45, and divide it by 6, that's how many miles per minute we're going. So let's see, if we take, let's see, 45 divided by 6 is 7.5. So 7.5 miles a minute. We got 372. 372 divided by 7.5 equals 49 minutes. So about 50 minutes in cruise. 50 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to grab a drink, let my dog out, do some fun stuff, like take the trash out, and then I'll be back with you. All right, I'm back. All right, pretty low key flight. Um, you can see these scattered clouds. Like, it's funny because the worst visibility conditions in flying are the most stable air, right? Meaning it's the least bumpy, um, unless it's completely clear, which is, obviously that's its own thing. Um, but yeah, when it's like puffy clouds like this, generally right below the clouds is the most turbulent. Hmm. I think I need to make the chat box bigger. What do you guys think? I'm gonna lock that in. A little easier to see, maybe. Get some music going. Anyway, let's we can. I'm gonna look up some air fleet stuff. Let's look at some airplanes. Alright, so let's go, let's look at United. Oh. United Airlines. Sometimes they have some really good pictures on here. What? Oh. If you look at theirs. That's, I have this livery. Maybe I'll do the next flight in this. 475 UA. That's in 2023. What was it? Which one was that? 475 UA. 475. Yep, it's still painted that way, looks like. Yeah, as of 9, or I guess March 9th, 2025, it was still painted in the Friendship United. Let's look at another type of plane. What are they flying? It's crazy to me they're still flying these like in the fleet. You know what I mean? Like they even got it in the Evo Blue. They're still supporting it. You know, I think, well, that's the 300, but I just think that Boeing should bring it back. You know, I think it's gonna solve their issues in terms of I don't know, just in terms of what type of application they can use the narrow bodies for. You know? Like, this is a picture with two different 200s in it, which is amazing. It's just the best aircraft. I don't know. It looks the best. I think it has the best ratio. I don't like the 300 though. I think the 300 is too long. But anyway, that's my favorite aircraft. Well, that's kind of cool. Aer Lingus. I like their livery. Ooh, the Fokker 28, I think. You know, Fokker 100. That's nice. So many companies out there that I forget about.
Traffic on flight 210, departing runway 21.
Max 9. You don't see that too often. Just look how even, they even move the engine up and forward, and it's still almost dragging the ground. Like, it's just so crazy. Nice. ATR 46 or 42. There's one, A330. Wow, there's operators still flying it. That's pretty good. I was just never a big 747 fan. I respect it for what it is, but yep, American Max 8.
Oh.
I love the simplicity of the American livery. I think it's beautiful. All right, Spirit 321. That's also a nice livery. I like the scratched, like the penciled in look. That's cool. 660 NK. A lot of Maxes. All right, 21 Neo. I'm not a robot, I promise. Continue. Okay, there you go. Alright, some good old JetBlue. They always have the coolest stuff. I think they're the best liveries in the United States. Yeah, there you go. MD-11. I think I'm gonna fly that one on stream soon too. Right now, I just don't feel like putting my yoke on my setup. That's why. All right, that's enough of that. Let's check how much longer we have to go. Uh, 145. We got about 20 minutes left in cruise. Gonna start checking the weather and inputting the weather here in a couple minutes. All right, we got let's see if that weather's changed at all. That's the only thing about my headset is that it bleeds over. So sorry if you guys are getting any sort of bleed over there. All right. ATIS, we're still landing 2987, Evercast 22. So we're pretty similar still. Probably in 28 center, parking, this is the United gates, pretty much. Like this whole side. Big base for United. So, before we get too far into it, might as well start putting this in. Now, if you wanted to put a different, like, let's say we were going here. Right? If you wanted to put a different fix in. Yeah, you can either put final in or Vogler. Final is going to be your past your intermediate fix or your initial fix. You can put in, you can choose. You would go to vias here, right? And you could put no via, that would just be final approach. But we put Vogler in, we'll put the full approach in. Put all that in. Hmm. What? Alright. Bont. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go to Prague. We should have. That's. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. It's picking up the right one. Actually, I'm going to do this again. This will actually draw the number, or the, it'll draw the circle around it. Right, so that's what that's for. That just gives us some situational awareness. So that's also where, like, if there's no ATC on, that's where once I hit that blue line, that's where I'm going to switch over to the CTAF frequency. Alright, 29087. 8. And then what is that? 260 at 15, gusting 23. So we're just going to go ahead, put a max at 20 here. Oh, no, 148. 148, my fault. Alright, and the Airbus, especially since you can land with the auto throttles on, in gusty conditions like this, it's not recommended because it's hard to keep up. It's hard for the system to keep up. So it's a lot better to control the throttles yourself. It won't try to chase the airspeed as much. When you're in gusty conditions like that, your airspeed is going to fluctuate. It's better to keep the right attitude, meaning keeping the wings level and keeping the same power setting, keeping the power setting as stable as possible. So that way it's not dumping the throttle, pushing full throttle, dumping it again. That's how you get really unstable, and it's dangerous close to the ground. So we will fly in with the auto throttles disengaged. Alright, oh yeah. So now that we have our approach in, we need our barometric things. We'll go ahead and brief the approach. So we'll intercept. We put in Vogler, but we'll probably intercept somewhere between Linda and Rusko. So just real quick, this is the ILS localizer 28 center approach into O'Hare. Final approach course is 273, localizers 10895, Seeka at 2300 is the final approach fix. And our minimums are 851 MSL. That is below 22, which is good. That means that we'll see the airport before we hit minimums. But remember, it's more like 29 because it's 700 feet, or it's 2,200 feet above ground level. All right, let's see, down to the briefing, past the briefing strip, climbed to 1100, then climbing the left turn 4000 on heading 215 to DPA, which is DuPage, VOR radial 80082, and hold. All right, so we're going to come past, so that will be probably a teardrop entry and right turns. From radar required for procedure entry. Okay, simultaneous approaches are authorized. We don't care about that, and this is a big one. I think confuses people. All right, VGSI and ILS glide path not coincident. Okay, we talked about this last night. So that means that if I were flying just visually and I look at the PAPI lights on the left side, right, or just the lights on the left side, in the sim they're all PAPI lights unless you have third-party scenery. We typically want to see 2 red, 2 white, right? That means that we're on glide path, and more importantly, it guarantees that we won't hit anything in the visual segment of the approach, right? If we remain on that path. What this is saying is that if you use the lights, you're going to cross the threshold at 80 feet above ground level, right? So those of you that are used to simming, especially in airliners, you have the countdown of the radio altimeter, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You'll be at 80 when you cross. Typically, the standard is 50, not on every approach, but many of them, most of them. You're going to cross the threshold around 50 feet if you're perfectly on. So if you come down here, threshold crossing height is 55. So we're going to hear probably 50 when we cross the threshold. All right, that's if you follow the needles, the magenta diamonds on here, but the needles all the way down, right? So what I like to do is, and I'm used to it, is even when I'm visual, I know what it looks like in the windscreen, just visually, and I like to cross the threshold at 50 feet. You're still guaranteed obstacle avoidance on the ILS, flying the needles all the way down. The point is that you're going to see a discrepancy between the lights. You'll probably see 3 red and 1 white, versus the needles, which if you follow the lights outside, you'll be above the glide slope, meaning the diamond will be near the bottom of the screen. Okay, either one's fine, right? It's a long runway, you got plenty of rollout. It's not going to cause any problems unless you float forever, right? But if you're on speed and on glide slope, you're going to cross lower on the lights, and that's okay. And that's what I prefer because I don't like to waste runway. So that's what that line means, and that's actually pretty important. And I think a lot of people miss that because as long as you're aware that it's going to be different, it's not as confusing. But again, in most cases, it's usually fine unless you're flying into a short field. All right. And Seeka at 2300. All right, PAPI on the left side, ALSIF 2 lighting. This has been generally what the lighting's going to look like. And they put that in the chart, so especially somewhere like O'Hare, like if it was at night or in IFR conditions, you're going to know, like you need to be able to tell, like, are you on the right runway, and it'll show you what the lights look like. And that's important. Use the lights just as much to guide you in as to identify where you're at. All right, and then for all categories, right, we have the same RVR or minimums, right? We're fine because we're well above that. We have 10 statute miles of visibility, so we can very clearly see as soon as we break out. It's basically like quote unquote VFR. It's not. I think it's still marginal because of the ceiling, but below 3,000. But it'll feel like VFR because you'll be able to see for 10 miles. All right, so we kind of know what's going on, huh? Ding the cabin attendants, let them know we're getting close. Right, what is that, 26 miles? We're still going close to 7. So about 3 minutes till we start our descent into Chicago. So this is the descend stick. This is showing 30, but that's for the full length. We're not going to go all the way to the end, right? We know we did the math. We put a fix in. So we're going to use vertical speed, which is actually more the real world way of descending from the in-route environment. It's quicker. You have a lot more options. All right. So about 2 minutes. And we got O'Hare ground on now. 21.9. Whose airspace are we even in right now? Okay, so we're technically in Chicago's now, which is good. Alright, fly high. Nice, some Memphis folks going into Nashville. As always, that's always live. Everybody in Memphis, ARTCC loves controlling Nashville, which is funny because everyone starts at Memphis. Okay, we're still in a turn. I don't know. That was crazy. I thought we were frozen for a second. All right, nice. Okay. We'll make it easy on ourselves, and we'll go 3-degree glide slope down. But for those of you keeping score at home, if we weren't using that, we would use ground speed divided by 2 and add a 0, so it'd be 2,100 feet per minute. Let's see, what is the frequency? Ground point 9, all right. Okie doke. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, CTAF for O'Hare is 120.7, not 20.75. All right. It is gonna be bumpy on the way in. I can tell you that much. we're going to keep that speed up until the very, very end. All right, and let's see here. So we'll be at 11,000, and then what's the most? Let's see, 11. That's 4 times 3, 12. Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to get down to like 7 or 6. So we'll intercept like around Mima or Rusko. Um, Honestly, you could probably go Rusko because you'll be 30 miles out. Into the great unknown. All right. We're gonna bring it down to 310, keep descending. It's probably one of the longer flights I've done on stream. I think this is probably the cap though for how long I want the streams to be, at least per leg, right? A long time in stream. Now, if we were like sitting around and we were, looking at stuff together, like cool pictures of planes or something, that's fine too. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, put it in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to accommodate. All right. Nope, I don't want that. No. Go away. Lights on. What was it? 3024. No, 29 or 87. What was I even thinking? Yeah, so because the clouds are so broad like this, like when we get into the clouds, it's going to feel really vast and crazy if you're looking outside. All right. All right, so here is the bread and butter of IFR flying. So look outside, you can't see anything. So why even look outside, right? That's how people get disoriented is they look outside. They're like, oh, what do I do? Look down, my guy. Look over here. There's nothing to look at. It's not going to help you. All right, so let's go ahead and prepare ourselves. All right, so once I hit 11,000, we're going to bring the speed back to 250 because then we're going to be in the Class Bravo airspace. That is the speed limit. Actually, yeah, that's under the shelf is 200 knots. Let's make sure nobody else is on. All right, O'Hare ground's still on. No ATIS though for O'Hare ground. All right, what is that? 120.75. O'Hare traffic, United 630. We're about, let's say 25 miles to the south inbound 28 Center. Can very faintly see the ground. Yeah, another good reason to use vertical speed or flight path angle um, for the Airbus is it's really bad at slowing down and going down at the same time. I mean, most aircraft are, but Airbus is particularly efficient, let's say. Um, so if you're using vertical speed, um, you can level off a little bit, slow down, and then descend again without it being too aggressive. Keep that speed brake out. Since we're in that manage speed mode, let's go ahead and activate the approach phase. Good. LS IVZE is the final approach, or is the approach course identifier. Yeah, I want it to be out still. If I can get down. Give myself a little bit of extra track miles here. We're getting close. There we go, 2.5 miles. There we go, it's coming in. Okay. Alright, traffic, United 630, 15 mile final, or correction, 13 mile final for 28 Center, O'Hare. Alright, let's get to it. A little bit of an aggressive approach. I misjudged the distance a little bit. Keep that speed brake out. We'll keep 4,000 plugged in because that is our final approach, or that's our missed approach altitude. Alright, we're just below the cloud deck here. A little higher than it said it would be, but that's okay. That's good, actually. We like that. Hopefully you don't get too many stutters coming into Chicago. Seek it. Come on, man. That's what I mean. Like, at 1,100 feet per minute, right? You gotta have full speed brakes just to slow down. Okay, as long as we're by 1,600, we got 1,000 feet to go until we hit the 1,000-foot gate, or 1,000 feet for 1,700, right? As long as we're configured by 1,700, we're good. There is flaps 2. We'll just go ahead and do this. Arm. Lights. O'Hare traffic, United 630, 7 mile final, 28 center. O'Hare. Okay, got a 20 nautical mile, or 20 mile per hour headwind. Flaps 3. Got 300 feet to go till 1,000 foot minimums, or 1,000 feet AFE. VFE next, minus 10. Okay, so our actual landing speed, VLS, is 129. We're going to be at 148, just as a margin. Alright. Flight director's off. We're going Bish.
1,000.
Keep that speed up. Once we get below 1,000 feet, or 500 feet, that's when it gets really dicey in the sim. That's why we're going to go. Okay. Alright, we're starting to descend just a little too fast. A little bit of throttle. Oh, the stutter is awful.
500.
That's what I mean.
Speed.
That's okay.
Hundred above.
Come on, catch up. The frameways. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40.
Oh, guess we gotta go around. Alright, traffic, United 630 going around. Flaps 3. Good lord. I guess we're gonna try this again. And that was no joke. Alright, let's circle around. Let's try that one again. I mean, part of that was just there was so much stuttering. It was
Traffic, at 9:20. It is 50 miles to the north. We're in the right base for runway 27. Center currently at 9,600 descending.
yeah, part of that was just the stutter was just so bad. Interesting. So we got here a little early, right? So it was supposed to be an hour 44 en route, but now it's we're here like 10 minutes early. So I guess it's not awful. Alright, traffic, United 630, 4,000 feet, left downwind, 28 center. O'Hare. Right, so we didn't do the publish mist because we're not under ATC control, so that's fine. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just flying a pattern, trying to keep about 3 nautical miles distance from the runway. I just really need the stutter to not be there. That would be preferable. Alright, so we'll come down to 3,000. Hey, there's the city of Chicago. Alright, let's go. Speed 180. Oh, hello, clouds. What? Alright, VFE next, -10. And that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and reactivate the approach phase. Here we are. We have a 30 mile per hour or 30 knot tailwind at 3,000 feet. That's pretty insane. Alright, I guess standard for Chicago though. I told you all it was going to be bumpy. Alright, since we have a tailwind, it's going to push us farther out so we can start turning inbound. Hopefully it just doesn't stutter as bad. That would be nice.
How's it going, Captain Sean?
Where's that, man?
Baseball. Oh, that's why. That's why our auto FPS turned off. Connect. Come on now. There we go. Hopefully this will help us. Oh, there's that weather again. Now all of a sudden it's hard to see the field. In the real world, it would be, you would have the runway lights on if it was below VFR during the day. And the beacon would be on. Alright, let's go ahead and gear down. And O'Hare traffic, United 630, 10 mile final at 28 center. O'Hare. VFE next minus 10. And VFE next minus 10. Flaps 4. Okay, landing, no blue. This time, let's hope that it's easier. Alright, not as stuttery. Or traffic, United 630, short final, 28 center. Or and I'm not even using special scenery. Now the one in Microsoft Flight Simulator is like updated like a third-party scenery, so it is more updated, more detailed.
1,000.
Alright, we're just a little bit high. That these gusts are keeping us up. As long as we don't go past 1,000 feet per minute, we're good. Start walking the power back. Feel that turbulence. Keep the nose down. Not as much stuttering, although it's still there. That's just my processing card, or my video card. I'm on a mid-range PC.
500.
Alright, this is where it gets dicey, right over the buildings. We get that
Speed.
mechanical turbulence.
100 above.
Oh gosh.
O'Hare traffic, ILS 5026 is departing runway 28 right at November 5.
O'Hare traffic at 928 is 30 mile final, runway 27 center, O'Hare.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard.
Oh. At least we're down though. That was hard because I can't see because of the stupid stuttering. At least we're kind of on the center line. Yeah, not my.
O'Hare traffic, United 576 heavy, lining up for runway 28 right in November 5, O'Hare.
air traffic. United 630, we're clear of 28 center. God, that's awful. I said I had an ATC message. Air ground, United 630 off of 28 center.
United 630 O'Hare ground. Welcome to O'Hare. Make a right turn on Papa. Echo Echo. Hold short 28 right.
Papa Echo Echo. Hold short 28 right. Did you send me a message?
I did not.
Like, this is awful stuttering.
Southwest Airlines 621 radio check.
Southwest 621 or something. O'Hare ground. You're for
Papa Echo Echo. Yeah, I need that stuttering to be gone. That honestly was the worst part of the approach. I'm gonna reply to bro in the thing. I don't even know how to reply to this. So you see, like, it's hard to even get like a good idea of how fast you're going on the ground. You know what I mean? So I don't know why the stuttering is so bad, particularly right now. I generally don't have a problem coming to O'Hare, but maybe it's just the computer's been on a long time. I don't know. But some of it's too high of a round out.
Ground, good afternoon. United 6553, request Alpha to Cleveland Hub Plymouth International.
United 6553 O'Hare ground. Good afternoon. You're cleared to Cleveland by the O'Hare 9 departure. Radar vectors Duffy, then as filed. Climb by a SID. Departure frequency offline. Squawk 3141.
Clear Cleveland, O'Hara 9, departure, radar vectors Duffy, as filed. Climb via the departure frequency offline, squawk 301, 30141, United 653.
United 6553, read back to correct. Push at your discretion, expect 28 right.
Expect to where again, United 653?
Expect 28 right.
28 right, United 653.
United 630, cross runway 28 right at Echo Echo. Continue to the ramp via Lima Lima Alpha.
Lima Lima Alpha, cross 28 right at Echo Echo. United 630. Like, what is this stuttering? Like, this is the worst it's ever been for me. So I think I need to do some updates and stuff like that, so that's what I'm going to do. Was it Lima Lima Alpha, right? Hopefully for the next stream. I attribute some of the bad landing on that, not all of it. Some of it's just, it was real. When you get gusts like that, sometimes it just drops out from under you and you fall on the ground. Pretty rough landing. Oh well. What can you do? I could have gone around again, but I didn't feel like it. It's fine. We'll give you some drink vouchers. You win some, you lose some. Like, this honestly is the worst though. My RAM's like really high. Interesting. Oh yeah, my GPU is all the way up. That's probably why. But below 500 feet per minute, I'm more worried about the G loading. It was like 1.4 Gs, which is hard. Usually that would be a gear inspection. So let's just say since it's a base for United, they're going to do a gear inspection. Yeah.
Oh yeah, ground good. Evening, 928, we're off 27 center. Echo 2 now taxiing Echo to 22 right, plan to cross 22 right Echo. And we're parking Mike 21.
United 928 heavy, O'Hare ground. Texas Mike 21 via Echo Bravo, cross runway 4 left, hold short, runway 27 left.
Echo Bravo, cross 4 left, hold short, 27 left, unit 928.
We'll just pretend this is our gate. How about that? It ain't called the Windy City for nothing. Alright. Yeah, I could have let the power in. Yeah, I could have done this, that. Yeah, whatever. But here we are. We made it. It was a rough landing. Whatever. Alright, let's get these people off my plane. Let's see here. Alright, so again, pretty uneventful flight. First go around on the stream, I think, and then like beyond that, right? A little pretty rough landing, just rounded out too high. Some of that, again, some of that's the stuttering. Just it was just awful. I don't know what it is today about the stuttering. I'll just have to check some updates, make sure everything's optimized. But when it's stuttering like that, it's hard to judge the motion to the ground. So it feels like we're stuck there, or we're closer to the ground than we were. So yeah, I'll take the heat on that. Whatever. Some you win some, you lose some. Not every flight or not every landing goes your way. But anyway, pretty fun approach into O'Hare. I thought it was pretty neat. But anyway, thanks for joining me on this stream, and I'll hope to see you next time.
United 928 Heavy cross.